Hi, my name is Justin, and in today's video, I want to give you a brief overview of Upswing's online retention platform. So the first thing I wanted to show you is what Upswing looks like from the student's point of view. So the first thing that a student will need to do to log into Upswing is to go to their own school's portal. So this is just a quick example of what your portal will look like. As you can see here, you've got the logo, and over here we have the login. Now, this is using a single sign-on integration, meaning that students do not have to remember an extra username and password. They can just use the one that they use to log in to their normal school resources. So once I'm logged in, I'm greeted with this big search bar right here. And what this allows me to do is search for a subject or a coach. Now, the great thing about this is that we will add all of the subjects from your school so that students can search for their specific class name or for a general subject. So for instance, I could start searching for algebra, and as you can see, we already have a few results right here, so I'm going to go ahead and select college algebra. So on the results page for college algebra, we're going to see this long list of coaches, and you'll see that these coaches at the top have this special icon and the words Learning Center Coach. This is because with Upswing, you are able to add your own on-campus tutors to the Upswing system. These coaches will then be shown alongside our own network of coaches. This will essentially give students the option of scheduling a session with a Learning Center coach during Learning Center hours, or if they'd like, scheduling a session with a Upswing coach that is going to be available at different times. So if we go ahead and select one of these coaches, I'm just going to select Mitch right here. You're going to see a little bit more about this coach. So we have this About Me section, an Experience section. We can also see what kind of education he has. And down here we're going to see all these skills that Mitch can teach, as well as languages he is fluent in, which is very helpful for ESL students, for example. Now here at the top I have a few options for interacting with Mitch. I can send him a message real quick if I'd want to. I can also schedule a session in the future. So first we're going to select a subject. So I'm going to do college algebra. It's going to be an online session. We're going to say it's just going to last for about 1 hour. And we can also select when this is going to happen. So let's say Thursday. That sounds like a good time. And here we're going to see what hours Mitch is available. So it looks like Mitch has a pretty good chunk of time available right here. So I'm going to say let's have a session at 3 o'clock. Okay, so now that everything looks good, I do have the option of selecting a file to upload. This is really helpful if, say, I have an essay or a problem set I want Mitch to see, but I don't, so I can just hit the submit button. Once I do that, Mitch is going to get a notification, and he will either accept or reject my request. But in Mitch's case, he is actually online right now, and he's ready for a session. And I can tell that because it says start a session now. So actually, if I go back to the results page, I can see that not all coaches are going to say online now, and it looks like actually Mitch is online right now. So because of that, I can select start a session now. And here I can go ahead and select a subject once again. Let's say college algebra, 1 hour. And once I hit submit, Mitch is going to see this and he can either accept it or reject it. And once he accepts it, we're going to be taken right into the session. So now that I've entered, it's going to ask me to use the microphone and camera. So I'm going to hit allow just for now. As you can see, there I am. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the webcam just for this demonstration. So this is the virtual learning room. Here I'm able to collaborate with my student through video and audio and chat, as well as this whiteboard area right here. So there's a few things I can do here. For instance, I can use the pencil tool to start drawing things. Now this pencil tool really comes in handy. Let me go ahead and undo that. Whenever I upload an asset. So here on this Assets tab, I can go ahead and add a new document to this whiteboard. Okay, so I went ahead and found a file I'd like to upload. I'm going to hit the Upload button, and it will appear here on the whiteboard. So now what I can do is I can use this pencil, for instance, to select a certain area. I also have a few other tools. For instance, the text tool will allow me to leave comments. I can also use some lines and shapes if I would like to, as well as this highlighter tool right here. Now the great thing about this is that the student will also be able to see everything that's going on and communicate with the coach in real time. I can also add as many pages as I would like. So we already have a second page because my document was 2 pages, but we can make a third one if we would like to as well. Now we also have some options for other subjects as well. For instance, here on the equation editor, I can go ahead and add in this this sample prompt right here. So I'm going to go ahead and add that and place that anywhere I'd like on the whiteboard. And once again, we can use the pencil or any of the other tools to call attention to any of the elements in this page. I can also go ahead and write using the text tool once again. But that about wraps it up for the learning room. There are just a lot of different ways for the coach and the student to have meaningful discussions and communications that we think really allow for better learning. So once the session has ended, the coach will need to complete the session. So the coach is going to go up here to complete session and end it. And now I'm going to be asked for some feedback. So here I can add in some different feedback. So as you can see, I just filled in some sample feedback here. And right here I'm going to select how well Neha understood based off of that session. So anywhere from 1 to 5 stars. I already selected 5 stars. And once everything looks good, I can just hit the submit button. But now that we have that feedback logged for that specific session, we can see all of that data and more in the admin dashboard. So the admin dashboard essentially gives you a general overview of how Upswing is working with your school. So here I can see some contract information as well as how many hours I've used for this contract cycle. As I scroll down, I can see some charts and graphs related to Upswing usage at the school. We also have a few more stats and just different ways that you can understand how Upswing is being used. And if I keep scrolling down here, you'll see this section that's labeled All Sessions. So essentially here in the All Sessions section, I can see every session that's gone on with my students. And I can even drill down here. So if I want to just see the student Chris Webb, I can do that. And I can also see for a specific student. And as you can see, it's going to show me just that. And if I'd like, I can go ahead and export this report right here just with this export button. And so here on student search, I can look up specific students. So let's go to our test students account. And here I can see all of our students' sessions in recent history. I can once again look at a specific coach or subject if I would like. And of course, I can export this as a CSV document. Now here on feedback, I can see what kind of feedback is being left on this student from coaches. And here I can also see what feedback is being left by this student on coaches. Now I can basically do the same thing here with coach summary. So I can look for a specific coach. Let's look for Mitch. And as you can see, I can see feedback that's being left on this coach and feedback being left by this coach. And lastly, here on the feedback tab, I can see basically all the feedback that's going on within the system, and once again I can export that. But that's about it. That's just a general overview of how Upswing can work at your school. If you'd like to learn more, please go ahead and give us a call at 844-879-8779 or send us a quick email to speak@upswing.io.